forced to shut their doors for good. Thanks for staying with WJZ. I'm Rick Ritter.
And I'm Denise Koch. Well, several local restaurants, which had been forced to close due to the pandemic, are now saying that their shutdown is permanent.
And WJZ is live tonight. Paul Gessler, he has the estimate of how many restaurants are expected to close statewide. Paul.
Hi, Rick. Yeah, that forecast from the state's Restaurant Association is not good. They say 25% of Maryland's restaurants might close for good. They're asking lawmakers for restaurant-specific help. After 25 years in business, City Cafe in Baltimore's Mount Vernon announced last week it is closing for good. The same fate at Riley's Oysters Federal Hill location.
We're losing some long-time restaurants that have been a staple in the community.
Marshall Weston of the Restaurant Association of Maryland estimates 1 in 4 Maryland restaurants will close permanently during this pandemic.
Quite frankly, restaurants are running out of money.
Weston said nearly half of Maryland's restaurants are currently closed.
Restaurants need to know what the timeline is.
He says restaurants need to financially plan and request a restaurant-specific recovery fund.
The pressures that restaurants are going to feel during this transition process is going to be immense.
In a webinar with Baltimore's Downtown Partnership, restaurant owner Phil Hahn says even with pickup and delivery, business is down 75% at Doobie's in Mount Vernon.
It is very challenging to operate in this climate.
Hahn says many restaurant owners are dependent on landlords in deciding next steps.
Part of the reason why you're seeing such a relatively small number of restaurants announcing their full closures because we're all just waiting on their decision, which is very scary to think about.
It's not just rent, but it takes a lot of money to run a restaurant.
Weston says restaurants will need to retrain employees and manage capacity limits inside.
Many people feel that they're not ready to return to a restaurant, and that's okay. The restaurant will be ready when you are.
Now, Weston says 150,000 restaurant employees here in the state are currently out of work. For now, reporting live tonight, I'm Paul Gessler for WJZ.